seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Welcome to the last day of the International 3 group stages. This is Navi versus LGD Game 2. And we're all going to hope together in unison that Navi puts on their try-hard face for Game 2. As from this seat, it is impossible for me to say with any absolute confirmation that there was an intentional throw of Game 1. However, it is the case that if LGD takes this series 2-0, Navi is still in the winner's bracket. A-okay, and they actually will probably still end up in first place.
10 seconds remaining.
But if Dignitas wins, especially if they win their second game against Fnatic, they've won game 1. Sorry for the spoilers.
LGD's
it will mean that Fnatic is knocked out of the winner's bracket. And Fnatic is the only team thus far that have actually taken games off Navi. Now LGD, they just took game 1, but Navi were... that's one of the least serious matches I've seen Navi play. Not in the sense that there were any particularly intentional deaths. It's just really bad play all over the place. It just didn't make sense. Hanging around the top tier 2 for minutes at a time, accomplishing absolutely nothing. Excessive dives. These are just completely untenable dives into the base, which one of them did pay off, but hvost several times, just big questionable deaths. So we'll see. I'm really hoping that Navi put on their try-hard pants for game 2 here, because I really want to see Navi versus LGD, a real match. In any case, Navi's draft is looking really good right now. They've got their Chen for Puppey, they've got their Rubik for Kuroky. Looks to be a funnik Mirana. Could also be a kuroky Mirana. No, it's kuroky Rubik. What am I thinking?
Remaining.
I'm drunk and high. Mirana for funnik, potentially into the off lane. Haven't seen that in a while, but it's definitely viable. I think I've seen Navi run Mirana once. Oh, when was it? Actually, back in TI1, Navi ran Mirana on, was it hvost? Yeah, hvost played offlane back then and went Mirana offlane. The meta was totally different back then, so kind of hard to compare, but it was something that they used to do. Little known fact. And they pick up the hvost anti-mage. Anti-mage is a great hvost hero. Tons of farming. Sometimes he gets a little over-aggressive, but that's okay. That's, it happens. LGD in response to Navi's draft, they've got the Darkseer Gyrocopter once more. Lots of team fight. They've also got the Puck to add right on top of that, which will undoubtedly be more useful than the Beastmaster. As effective as Zhao 8 was in game 1, I really have to put it down to Navi play, not actually the pick of Beastmaster.
10 seconds remaining.
Hvost set himself up for so many roars in that game.
5 seconds remaining.
But the Puck is a really good combo with the Darkseer and Gyro. There's a lot of ways to keep people in a small AoE and then dump the call down on them. And it's a Pudge! Yeah!
LGD's turn to pick.
Excuse me as I die from excitement. I believe this is the first Pudge game for Navi. And we can only hope that this is going to be a good game. Pudge is a bit of an interesting pick here. It's going to be a little difficult for him to find hook targets. Puck, good reaction time, and this is on land, so no ping to get in the way of seeing that hook coming.
5 seconds remaining.
Can have a pretty big impact. So phase shifting the hook is pretty viable for Puck to do. Now, the timing is a little bit challenging, and it's unlikely that they've practiced the Puck versus Pudge a whole lot. And in terms of the lane, Pudge doesn't win that lane, but that's not why you pick Pudge for Dendi. You pick him so that he can hook heroes and farm heroes for the good of the team. Sand King is the last pick for LGD, and it gives them great team fight, which up against a Pudge, you kind of got to treat Pudge like you do an IO. Grouping up is the solution, although not getting hooked is really the better solution. If Dendi goes on a rampage with Pudge, finding kills across the map, then the solution for LGD is to group up, and they're happy to do that. Great team fight. 4 of their heroes have plenty of AoE, and then they've got Shadow Demon to boot. So they're really okay with the grouping up that they will potentially do. So I think it'll be a challenge for Dendi to find his hook targets. But he could potentially create a lot of kills for his team, and if he can get a dismember off, that's an easy arrow for funnik. And actually, it appears they're going to do a similar thing with the Quelling Blade on funnik. This appears they're going to be doing a jungle or ancient Mirana. Haven't seen this before, but it functions exactly the same as Windrunner. Mirana's animation is not quite as good as Windrunner's, and her base damage also not quite as good, but will still function just fine, and actually offers a little bit more in terms of being able to gank a lane. Sylar, double damage on hvost. They could potentially get a kill here. Ooh, there's the lift onto Sylar. This is first blood. hvost. Actually, Kuroky picks up the first blood, so that's gonna be a fast crow or boots for him. So that's pretty good for them. Interesting that after the Quelling Blade blick up, I kind of assumed that he was going to be jungling Ancients, but I guess deciding not to. hvost up in the top lane right now. There's, I mean, up against a tri lane. So what is he doing? What's the game plan here, Navi? Are your tryhard pants not on? Did you not get dressed this morning? This could be bad for hvost. He's gonna get shadow disrupted. There's gonna be a rocket barrage most likely. Sylar opting not to pay attention. I think they could have gotten the chain stun there. The burrow strike immediately after the disruption into the rocket barrage could have worked pretty nicely. So hvost leaving this lane. I feel like maybe Navi were potentially expecting an aggressive tri lane, but they did see the Darkseer down here. I think they knew. They knew what was coming. So that's left a farming funnik down at bottom for the time being, but I imagine he's going to be headed back towards the Ancients. And actually, oh, yeah, he gets lifted up. The arrow will miss, and he's got a surge in 6 seconds, but there's no mana break on hvost, so I don't know that. Oh, big blocks by Puppey. Big blocks, and nice. Finished off with one more right click from Puppey. So finding a kill there where you really wouldn't expect it whatsoever. I mean, this roaming anti-mage, that's a thing now. But no, finding a kill on Yao, he tries to challenge the pull, and he pays for it. funnik not actually landing an arrow there. But, ooh, the arrow is so close to landing on Zhao 8. I think he's just throwing them out on his way to the Ancients. With that Quelling Blade, I can only assume that was his plan to do the Ancients. That is one of their cost of Mirana doing the Ancients versus Windrunner. It does require the Quelling Blade in order for this to work. And Quelling Blade only extra 12% damage for ranged heroes, so very, very little. Doesn't offer that much. Does help with the base damage problem, but. So down at bottom, Yao is going to be having a hard time, especially after that death, and hvost being involved in 2 early kills really help him out. And as far as supports go, ooh, Dendi, he's running away from an early gank here from LGD. He's gonna get chain stunned up, and wow, he finds a kill. He manages to get the hook in the middle of that clusterfuck, and funnik shows up in time. He'll get some right clicks on DDC, and he will go down. Zhao 8, he's got an orb, so he should be able to escape this. And oh, he gets lifted up, and it's just not quite the right timing. If funnik or Kuroky had waited just about half a second later for the telekinesis, would have stopped the orb on Zhao 8. Nonetheless, good engagement for Navi. I mean, finding a trade there for Dendi, that was 1v3, and him pulling a kill out of that is pretty fantastic. That's a future stack on his flesh heap that he has to look forward to. And finding another return kill after that from funnik. So that's great. Good engagement for Navi, and have to keep the last hits up there. That's pretty important. Small detail. Another smoke up here from LGD. They really want to keep dendi down. This is going to be a repeat of just 3 seconds ago, walking down the river. There's an orb up by Xiao8, but wow, they can't actually catch him. 285 move speed Pudge, and they're not able to keep up with him. And a big arrow lands on DD. This should be a hook. It's a level 3 hook. Can he get it in time? Yes, he can. Nice arrow from funnik. This is a nice. I really like this Marana Ancient. I mean, just at any point an arrow can arrive, and it's hard to detect. It comes from the high ground, and unless you have vision, oh, Xiao8, he's all phase shifts that just in time. It's unlikely that you'll ever hit an arrow on Xiao8, but can be pretty close. Especially once this hits nighttime. That's Marana's time to shine. It's similar to Pudge. You have very little distance to see where the arrow is coming from, and can make for a lot more surprises. And the other nice advantage of this is that with the leap, has some good ability to close the distance, get to the rune, and it's actually bottled a regen rune, so we'll be able to make use of that, throwing out more arrows. In terms of the performance mid, Dendi's actually doing surprisingly well versus a puck. 16-3 versus 24-8 on Xiao8, and Xiao8 should be winning this lane. But with the kills for Dendi, have really made some opportunities for him. And another arrow flying out. Ooh, another phase shift by Xiao8. Whoa, that hook was close. One of the advantages of even if the arrow gets phase shifted, that's 6 seconds where Dendi has the potential to land a hook that he might not be able to otherwise. Because there's no way that Dendi can land a hook if phase shift is up, unless Xiao8 is really not paying attention. Down to bottom, because of hvost's late arrival to the lane, heading up top, and then back to bottom. He's 28-9 versus 40-20 on Sour, so Sour's had a much better start. At least as far as the hard carries go. It's nighttime now, although there's a ward up here by LGD, so they're going to be aware that funnik is standing here, hoping for the arrow. Ooh, man, that was close. There's a haste up on Dendi. Oh, this is a kill. The orb is not going to save Xiao8, and there's an immediate teleport from DDC, but he's not going to find any returns. So, great gank from Navi. Xiao8, I think he maybe should have been a little more cautious. Shouldn't have tried to phase shift the arrow. Should have just not been in position to be arrowed. And not having the phase shift means he gets hooked, but also the haste rune on Dendi makes that possible. Ooh, there's an arrow on DDC. This should be an easy hook. But there's oh wow, easy kill for Dendi. Manages to pick that up. Will go down. He denies himself. Very nice by Dendi. Great trade there. Picks up the support kill. Walks out with the deny, and funnik is happy to kind of stand mid and soak up the experience while Dendi's gone.
You shall not.
I think funnik's having a pretty good start this game. Level 5 at 7 minutes in, doing this ancient strat. It's pretty good, and there's a lot of farm there to look forward to later on.
Denied.
Kuroky as well. He's actually level 6 at 7 minutes in. He's gotten plenty of levels down at bottom. Level 6 on puppey as well.
Top tower is under attack.
So Hand of God is available for the future. Probably might have saved Dendi there if he'd had the mana for it. Or perhaps he hit 6 afterwards. Was not watching. Bottom tier 1 goes down to the rotation from puppey, so first tower of the game goes the way of Navi. Navi are definitely looking a lot better in this game than they were in game 1. It is, after all, the first. Maybe it was the first game of the day. Maybe they weren't. Maybe they weren't throwing. I want to believe. Oh, a big hook onto DDC. Dendi finding the hooks. This poor support. DDC has gone down 3 times so far. Oh, another hook. Dendi. That's a double kill for him. Supports are his food. He's so happy just to chomp down. There's a sentry here, so the Moonlight Shadow from funnik will not have any effect. But, yeah, great hooks from Dendi. And there's a zero reward here. One thing that Dendi does, every game he plays Pudge, he buys his own wards, he buys his own smokes, and he makes kills happen with those. Because it's all about knowing where the enemy is. And if you're somewhere where the enemy doesn't know where you are, it's impossible to behave as if there's a potential hook coming in at all stages of the game. You just can't pay attention to your hero that often. Now, it does get immediately dewarded. That observer that Dendi places down, so he won't be able to stay in this top lane and look for any more kills. Xiaowei, after his death middle, seems to have been chased out a little bit. Kind of afraid of the
Dire's
combo.
middle tower is under attack.
Puppey's at level 7, so he's got 3 creeps. They're ready to start looking for kills around the map. Dendi's at level 9, so now max level hook and rot. This is his peak time. Oh, the hook! Holy shit, Dendi! Jesus Christ! He should be able to finish off the kill, but he's gonna get hit with the call down. Puppey shows up just in time. The Hand of God gets used to keep him up for the time being, and there's a lift onto Siler, pulls him back. A few more, nice Dream Coil onto 3. Yao shows up, drops the wall on the vacuum. Kuroky goes down, manages to get one more hook just before he goes down. Dendi does. There's a net onto Zhao 8. He's got one more phase shift, but another right click from funnik. Just one more. One more, can he do it? Oh, and funnik manages to do it. That DD. And there's a dire courier death as well. Oh, Yao, he's got to be careful here. Arrow from funnik is off the mark, but that's okay. Funnik has to be careful here. Cannot tie to the... Oh, there's another hook, Dendi! His self-destruction will delay DDC's death. But Dendi is rocking out on Pudge right now, creating huge problems for LGD. There's a surge onto Dendi. He's thinking about it. He was thinking about it. Oh, the hook! It's so close. It's so close. Oh, Dendi Pudge. There's nothing more of a delight to watch. Yeah, the Dendi Pudge is how Navi tore their way out of a terrible start in the first day of the group stages in TI1 or TI2. They just the Pudge was the Chinese kryptonite, and the hook! He had no vision of Siler. Wow. Actually, I could be wrong about that. Potom actually has Mirana has increased night vision. One of the few heroes that does. So, may have had vision of Siler there, but nevertheless, a great hook from Dendi, and they are finding so many kills. Dendi is 7-3 right now, and I believe 2 of those are suicides. Maybe just 1. Either way, a fantastic start. And hvost, this whole time, he's got a 12-minute battle fury. Jesus Christ. Wow. It's a little bit of a battle fury rush. He's got boots, poor man's shield, quelling blade. But fantastic start for him, and Dendi just has to keep this up for about 3 minutes, and Navi are going to be really set for this game. They've already got a massive lead, 7,500 gold, 7,500 experience. Wow, they're so far ahead, and I don't know what LGD can do to come back from this. They've already lost the top tier 1, so the jungle is not a safe place for LGD. And as soon as Navi can take down the mid tier 1, they're really going to open up the map. It's gonna be okay. Yeah, hvost is going to be a terror in about 10 minutes, and I mean he'll have probably a full Manta style by then, and having Battle Fury Manta style at around 20 minutes, that's a scary prospect. Pretty convenient for Dendi to have all these. Oh, the hooks. Where will the hook come? Now, Moonlight Shadows pop, so LGD are not able to follow up on this. The surge is used on Dendi, but he has to wait for the Dream Coil to end. Moonlight Shadows here. There's no detection for LGD. They don't know where Dendi is. Can he land the hook? Can he land the hook? Now, there's a silence onto Dendi. They're going to go onto Dendi. Vacuum back the disruption. Can kuroky save him? It does not look like it. Can he deny himself? That's the next question. Nope, not able to do so. The Ion Shell, too much damage.
Dire's bottom tower
So,
is under
Dendi
attack.
not able to find the hook there. Perhaps hesitated a little too much. But who am I? Who am I to question Dendi's Pudge? No one. Absolutely no one. hvost is so aggressive
Dire's
here.
bottom tower
He actually manages to get the
denied.
bottom tier 2 denied, which is fine given that they have such a lead. That's just more map control they're removing, and that's a Roche Tower. The term that's been emerging recently, I like the term Roche Tower for these dire side towers, which provide so much access to the Roche pit. Kuroky gets the lift onto Xiao. There should be the creep is in the way of the arrow. He does have a phase shift available. He's waiting for the arrow, and he will pick up that kill. Nice dive from funnik.
Our thanks.
Could have been positioned a little bit better because he was behind a creep, not able to land the chain stun arrow with the telekinesis. But didn't need it anyways. It's not a big deal. And LGD are not in a position where they can really respond all that much. Puppey has been aggressively jungling here. He's got arcane boots and a mech. Ooh, there's the arrow on DD. Sloppy. He had to step out from that, or at the very least, burrow strike away. It's a free kill for funnik. Purge gets used onto funnik, but he's just going to leap away, no problem. Purge is not particularly effective against Mirana. This Dark Troll Summoner looking forward. There's the hook onto DDC. Yet more hooks. The Hind of God gets popped from Puppey. Siler's trying to go on this, but he's got to be careful. There's going to be a hook up from Dendi pretty soon. Yao, he's in the middle of things, drops the wall. No vacuum yet. Nice mana void from hvost. He shows up at just the right time. He needs to be careful about his illusions. Xiao, he's in the back line here. Will go down. Might be able to order himself away. But no such chance. And LGD called the GG at 15 minutes in. It's 21-5. Holy shit. Wow. I gotta credit this game to Dendi. The hooks, and also funnik, he played a pretty good Mirana. He really set up for Dendi in this game. Jesus Christ, what a fast game. I think that might be one of the fastest GGs of this tournament. And wow, just look at the fucking levels. I mean, everyone on Navi is, except for kuroky, are level 11 at 15 minutes in. They have all of their level 2 ultimates available. That's so powerful. And I mean, Pudge, Dendi had like probably, I think all of those kills were before he died, so he was gonna have a ton of stacks on Flesh Heap. He was gonna be so hard to kill. And with Chen, there was no chance for LG to come back. So by no means a premature GG. What a game! Finally got to see Pudge, and I mean Navi. Like after that game, you have to look at game 1 and be like, man, that had to be an intentional throw. It had to be. But who knows? Maybe they just really, really wanted to be aggressive, and it just wasn't working out. It's the first game of the day. Maybe, who knows? Who knows?